Welcome to Stonham Barns Park, Suffolk's ultimate family entertainment destination. This podcast will take you on a journey of discovery of all our facilities and exciting events. We look forward to seeing you soon. In this episode, we're talking to the amazing Jean Knappett. She is the theatre manager at the Aspal Theatre at Stonham Barns Park here, and we're talking to her right inside this beautiful theatre. Hello, Jean.
Hello.
Hi, it's really good to speak to you, and it's really great to be able to find out a lot more about the theatre.
I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about it. I really am, yeah. I'm very excited.
But before we do, where are you from? Because you're relatively new here, so what's your background?
Well, my background is that I was born in London, raised in Essex, and then lived for a while in Billericay, but my background is fashion. I was 25 years in the fashion business, so I actually spent a lot of time abroad. So I lived in Italy for 6 years. Mm-hmm. I lived in Monte Carlo for a year.
Wow.
And then I spent the next 20 years travelling to Italy, predominantly for work, and Paris, actually. I spent quite a lot of time in Paris as well, because my work was involved working very closely with the creatives. So I'm the one that had to take the designs and put them into the factories, end up with the samples and so forth. So, yeah.
What sort of fashion?
High-end fashion. So my last job was working for Loren Scott, who was Mick Jagger's partner. So I did a lot of Mick Jagger's stage clothes. We were mostly doing work out of Paris and Italy. So I worked with Loren for, I think, the last 2 years. But before that, I worked for Matthew Williamson. And I worked for a luxury leather goods company owned by Chanel. And before that, I was living in Italy and I worked for a very high-end fashion, kind of trend, if you like. Marni, I don't know if anybody will know the name.
We might. I don't think I do, but lots of people will. Were you in Milan or in Rome?
I lived in Milan and I did most of my work for the following 20 years out of Florence, so all in the Tuscany area. Yeah. And I set up my distribution centre in the Soave region, which is about an hour and a half up the mountains from Venice. So all that area.
Gosh, that must have been absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I loved
to live there.
I loved it. I think I don't miss the craziness of the fashion business actually at all. But I do miss the travelling. I actually quite liked travelling on my own and, you know, I got very settled into places that I went to regularly. And I made lots of friends, you know, with people I worked with. So it was great at the time.
So from Milan to Stonham, how did that move happen?
Well, how that move happened was we love Norfolk. Norfolk and Suffolk, obviously, but I have a friend who lived in a barn, a renovated barn, and we used to spend time with her. And we used to drive up from Essex, come over the border and almost breathe differently. It was like this sort of, I don't know, it was a big sigh, all of us.
I know it
including
so well.
the dog.
Yeah,
really? Yeah. I mean, it's like the air was different and he I don't know what it was. Anyway, we had the best times. My husband had his own business for a very long time. He's a complete petrol head, so it was all about bikes and cars and mapping race engines and so forth. And we decided that why were we waiting to retire? Let's make our move to Norfolk. And thank goodness we did. We ended up in I can say this, but I didn't renovate it. It's an old factory, the house. So we just feel lucky all the time because it's just stunning. And we didn't pick an area. We picked the house. We just luckily ended up in the Brecklands. We ended up near Dis. So we've got that little bit of a hubby feel. And then we put my friend's address in the sat nav and she was 14 minutes away.
No way.
No idea. Anyway, a bit of a challenge acquiring the property, but eventually we did. And that's how we ended up in Norfolk. I then obviously was looking for work. I'd popped into town to get my nails done and ended up with a little job at the sandwich bar.
Well done.
Which Hoppy was very scared about, thinking she's going to settle into a little job at the sandwich bar. But it took me a little while. I had a job. I went into a recruitment agency in Dis, and long story short, they offered me a job. So I ended up as a recruitment consultant for a while. It was very difficult to find anything that allowed me to use my real skill and passion with regards to the fashion industry. And I didn't want to go back to London. So I finally decided that I could cope with any administration job as long as it was 3 days. And by that stage, I had already started writing for a blues magazine, Blues Matters. And I had made contact with the guy, my mentor, Chris Moyes at Park Radio. And I have started my own show on Park Radio. And I had my Instagram fashion thing and my two beautiful dogs. So it was lovely. I worked 3 days, had 2 days off. Kind of alongside, if you like, the writing for the blues magazine, I got involved in putting on some blues gigs in the local area with a friend of mine who's got his own venue out in Essex. And I was really just kind of, you get to know people, networking a little bit. And we had a letter at Park Radio from the chap who was working here originally 3 years ago.
Right.
And I thought, it sounds interesting, hadn't been. And I contacted him and we then corresponded, and then I arranged to come in and meet him. At that point, there was another chap working here. Yeah. Came in, had a meeting. Anyway, long story short, it was weird actually. The very first time I came here, I don't know, I came into the place and I thought, I'm going to end up working here. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, nearly 3 years later, I had a call from Alan, who had seen me in the car park and obviously had heard that I'd come in for a meeting. And we had a chat, and that's how I ended up.
And that's how it happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, brilliant.
I know. It's
brilliant.
And it just goes to show the power of networking and following up on leads. And I suppose that's what I've always done. I found, if you can talk to someone, look at that 3 years later, I had no idea that it would end up with me being offered the theatre manager role. Yeah. I just thought, maybe we can do something together on the live music side.
And it's happened.
And I'm here. Yes, I've been here for a few weeks now.
And before we get into the programme, can you tell us a little bit about the Aspal Theatre?
Okay, so the Aspal Theatre will open, grand opening on the 19th of March. We're desperately working hard to get it completely ready for a little bit before that so we can have a wonderful run through. It's 160-seater plus, so it does depend how we lay it out, what acts we're going to have on. It has a state-of-the-art sound system, so there's been no expense spared. It's going to be sounding fabulous.
Lovely.
There is a state-of-the-art camera system, so we can do anything in there. We can also stream live musicals and films, which is something I'd love to do. Yeah. Through the summer season. And then a massive, beautiful stage, which means that we can, entertain big bands, smaller bands, we can make it work for whoever's coming to see us. Yeah. And then there's a back area, so the acts come in and they've got their own space. Yeah. There's plenty of room for them to get ready there should they wish to park all their, paraphernalia. Yeah. And then we've got our own, obviously, cloakroom and an area where people can get refreshments. Yeah. Until we're kind of set up elsewhere. That's what we're going to be offering. So, yeah.
You mentioned the big opening night. Who have you got in? What are we all coming to come and see?
Okay. So the tickets are selling out. So really, you need to be on this really fast. But it's the 19th of March and it's the Cliff Richard tribute act. His name is Jimmy Germain. He is literally Europe's for sure number one.
Really?
Well, to the point where he was requested to be present at the 50 years anniversary celebration of Cliff Richard being in show business. Wow. So it was for Cliff and he was invited. And then he was invited by the family to sing for Cliff on his 70th birthday. And if you ever look at his website, he's endorsed by Cliff Richard's sister, Joan. So this guy is very well known. He's got a huge following. And I think in the absence of Sir Cliff Richard, you're not going to see anything better. He's been doing this for a very, very long time. So, we're looking forward to having Jimmy come, and that's really going to kick off a series of tribute acts that we're hosting.
I'm just looking at the list now, and there's some really, really great acts on there. So let's go in order. Who's after Cliff? What can we come and see next?
Right, well, following Cliff, now we've got a good eclectic mix here, I think, but ABBA's Angels, they'll be here on Friday the 8th of April. And again, they've been doing this a while. They're seasoned professional. They're artists in their own right. They just, often these people have a real passion and admiration for the act that they are tributing.
For sure.
So they will be coming up on the 8th of April. They're one of the UK's leading ABBA tribute bands, and they've been going since the year 2000. Right. So they are very talented singers in their own right, as I say, and they are really offer a very captivating and authentic tribute of a band that they love very much. So
such great music, though, Jean.
I had one of my favourite gifts is a picture on my wall in the kitchen, and it's sound waves, and it's sound waves of Dancing Queen because it's my favourite song. So that's a really, I love them. I absolutely do. I love ABBA.
What did they win the Eurovision Eurovision with? Was it Waterloo? It was Waterloo.
It was Waterloo.
I love that song. I love that song.
I honestly, I love them all. Oh, it's gimme, Super Trooper, knowing me, knowing you, take a chance.
Yeah.
And when you start listening to them, every single one of them is just great.
Yeah.
I mean, and pieces of work, real pieces of work. So they are brilliant.
I think they are too, and I think, you know, children love ABBA too, and people who just, I've got a younger sister who never knew ABBA, but as a child, just in it. So total family show as well.
Well, you know why as well, I think, because of the films, Mamma Mia.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, I think regardless of the fact that there were parts of it where you needed cream crackers, it was so cheesy, but they were brilliant. They were brilliant. And they gave it such welly that I think that you couldn't help but enjoy it. Second one, not so much, but definitely the first one. So yeah, of course, there's a whole new generation loving their music. So, and also I think the type of music it is really lends itself to a kind of party night.
Yeah.
So we make sure we're putting the chairs out so that everyone can get up and have a boogie.
Good.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely what's going to happen.
Might have to find those flares.
And sequins, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Sequins everywhere.
So tell us some more. Who else have we got coming up?
Right, so on the 7th of May, we have got the magic and excitement of a live Queen concert with Queen Alive. Obviously, it's a tribute act.
Yeah.
It's a 5-piece, so it's going to be loud and fun.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for 10 years. Again, very professional, very authentic sounding, which is what you want, really.
It's important with Queen. Well, it's important with all of them, but, you know,
is,
gosh, Queen, trying to sing like Freddie Mercury is quite...
but he's fantastic.
Yeah.
And like you say, that's got to be one of the most difficult, really, I would think.
Thought so. Well,
the
he had,
range and the power of that guy was... I mean, if he starts singing, you know, it's him.
Yeah.
So I think these are definitely worth seeing.
Super.
They've gone around the world. So they are, again, you know, very established. They've got a massive following. So, book your tickets for the 7th of May.
Great.
The tickets really will sell very fast. So go to our website.
Yep.
And you can click a button and go straight through to buying your tickets. It's so simple.
Brilliant.
You can call us here. There's always somebody, one of the team. Give me a call, Jean. Have a chat with me about the theatre and perhaps, you know, I want to connect as much as I can really with, you know, the local audience. So if you're in the area, give me a call and I can sell you some tickets as well.
Yes.
Yes, because I do the sales as well. And you'll meet me on the night. I should be the party girl in my sequins. And call us. Yeah, give us a ring.
Thank you.
01449 711 111.
Brilliant. So, and I know you've got lots more planned for the year as well, but that is so exciting, those first 3 or 4 shows. And really, you know, everyone feels like coming out and celebrating now. It's about time.
Yes, it is. And that's what I realised was that of course it matters what you're putting on. But when I was doing the blues gigs, you know, the blues communities can be quite a niche, but people will come in because they were just so wanted to be in an environment where they were sitting in front of good music again. Yeah. And of course, we've also got Elvis coming up.
Yes.
And we've got another concert with Elvis, but it's Elvis and the Memphis Band. So it's like, you know, it's different depending on what it is you like. Simply Jackson, that was a great show because it goes down very well. Yeah. And of course, we've got the Glamtastics.
Yes, they're really popular, aren't they?
The Glamtastics are really popular, and that's going to be a brilliant night. And they're coming for 2 nights, actually. 26th of March, so hard on the heels of Cliff.
Yep.
And then the 22nd of October.
Super. So basically, we can come here every month from now on.
Yes.
And watch something amazing on your stage.
Yes. And do please keep an eye on the website because I'm working very hard now to start getting in some really interesting other stuff. Make it as different as we can. So I'd love to have an open mic night. I'd love to have some kind of like a talent fun, you know, Suffolk's Got Talent and it would be great to do, as I said, the live films, like streaming the films. And I would love to have some maybe classical music and try and do some work with the showground in as much as, but we might be able to do some intimate gigs that people want to come to.
Nice
and
idea.
Then some rock bands, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we want to try and, you know, bring as much to the area as we can.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with the season. We'll see lots of you anyway. And thanks very much, Jean.
Thank you very much.
Visit stonhambarnes.co.uk for more information.